What is up, guys? Come at you with Friday's brief. Only a couple more days and you guys are back in the gym. I'm very excited about it. You can already see, possibly on the ground, we've got the blue tape out for you, lined up, ready for you guys to get back into the gym. Please make sure you watch the guideline video because there's a lot of important information in there to make sure you guys are safe, following the right protocols, and make sure that we don't make the CFET cluster. Very important there. Alright, so what we've got for Friday with the warm-up, 2 rounds, we're moving through a curtsy lunge, specifically going through 12 steps, 6 each side. We've then got 10 scat press-ups, and then we've got 7 one-arm dumbbell or kettlebell cross-body deads. So for those curtsy lunges, should be nice and light. What we're doing, if I do it without a weight, I'm trying to stay nice and upright my torso. I'm stepping back and around, tapping the knee and up. One awkward movement, so if we can do it with a weight, we're going to make sure we're nice and controlled, keeping it nice and light. Maybe having it in the goblet position, stepping around and then up. Okay, knee touching the ground, going for 6 each side. The next movement we've got is a scat press up. So hands are going to be directly below our shoulders. Okay, we're not pressing against the ground. We're then going to sink into our hands, keep the arms locked out, press against it, sink into the hands, press against it. Okay, the idea is that our shoulders are moving back and forward, but our arms are staying straight. Last movement we have for that warm-up is a crossbody dead. So if I've got my dumbbell or my kettlebell to one side of me, I'm going to grab from the opposite hand, stand up tall, okay, slight bend in the knees, bring the hips down with you, stand up tall, okay? Going for 7 each side. Then what you're going to be going through is sort of like a skill strength piece, 2 3-rounders. So for the first 3 rounds, it's going to be max dips, max handstand press-ups or variation of, and then finishing off that with max effort towel rows or some sort of variation of that, okay? With the dips, we're trying to find some sort of raised object. I'm lucky enough to have a box, got a bench, seat, whatever's going to work. Okay, feet are going to go out nice and far, trying to go down as low as we can, and then full extension at the top, okay? For the next 2 movements, this will be relative to you and your ability. We've got handstand press-ups, so this can be either strict into kipping handstand press-ups, press up to pike, or a pike handstand press-up on the box. Okay, ideally you get in contact with your coach if you don't know what you're going to be doing there. By now you should know what sort of level you're at and what you've got around the house so you're going to be able to achieve that. Okay. Finally, we've got the max effort towel rows. So I've got a towel set up here against a pole. You can try and find something you can hang the towel off. And what we're trying to do is mimic the ring row as best as possible. So from here, I'm leaning back. Oops. Okay, pulling right up and then slowly down. Trying to pull my shoulder blades into the middle of my back, just like we did with the scat press-ups. Okay. From there, you're going to rest as you need for those in between those movements for the 3 rounds. Then the next 3, what we have is sort of like a core movement and lower body. Okay, so the first one we're starting off with is either an L-sit or hollow hold. If we've got a raised object we can use for the L-sit, we can do that. So if we've got a raised object, we can actually press against the ground and hold. Okay, alternatively we can move back into sort of an L-sit position, which is the easier part. Ideally what we would do is a harder one, which is a hollow hold. Okay, and go for a max effort for that. Okay, next is a pistol or a single-legged squat. So if we've got, again, a box or something we use for dips, we can use a couch, we can use whatever we want for that. That's good. If we can do a pistol, what we're going to try and do is lean right forward, trying to stay nice and controlled the whole time, and up. Not too bad for someone who hasn't warmed up. Or alternatively, we've got a box, we go down and up. Nice and controlled. I probably hit the box a bit too hard. Down. Okay, we're trying to maintain tension through that movement as best as possible to get the most out of it. Okay, 10 reps for that, or 5 each side. You can increase the reps if you want to try and get a bit more practice out of that. Finally, what we've got is a plank hold, weighted if possible. So, into a hollow hold essentially, so the opposite of the hollow hold, so our hips aren't too low, they're not too high. Okay, nice hollow position. If we can get into a position where we can get weight on our back, okay, so like a plate or something, that's cool. Just make sure it doesn't collapse you in, and we're not going too high. We're trying to maintain that good plank position for the full minute, okay? Finally, what we have for the conditioning is Fight Gone Bad style. So this is minute efforts. We've got 5 movements to go through, and a minute rest at the end. So I'm going to demonstrate with a dumbbell. Okay, we do have a dumbbell and a barbell. The first movement we have is a goblet squat. So holding a kettlebell or dumbbell upside down, hips back and down, standing up tall. Okay, with a barbell, we're going to make sure that we keep a good front rack position the whole time. Okay, elbows are up tall, hips back and down, making sure we're hitting full depth for that. Okay, that is for our first minute. Our second minute, what we have is a sumo deadlift high pull. Okay, so if we're using a dumbbell, we can grab both heads of the dumbbell. We're going down to mid shin, just about the same height as where the bar is now. So starting from here, pulling right up. Okay, holding onto the handle just like so. Alternatively, you can do single arm. Okay, if that's going to be a little bit easier for you. If we're using a barbell, feet nice and wide, slight bend in the knees, hinging forward, pull into below our chin, tap the ground and all the way up. Okay? If we're using a kettlebell, we'll be going right to the ground as well with that. Third minute is going to be step up. So if we've got a couple of plates we can use, that's cool. Ideally we want to be stepping up to something that's about knee height. Okay, as you can see, I'm mucking up in the box. So standing up tall, full extension. Or just finding something that you're going to be able to do that at about that, roughly that height. Okay, alternate the legs that you're using for that, so we're not loading up one side. Okay, fourth movement we have is burpees. So find a space that can go right down to the ground, and then up, standing up tall. Okay, that's minute 4. Minute 5 is a shower run, specifically about 15 meters. Okay, so you're going to measure out 15 meters. It's going to allow you to run back and forth. Okay, and you're just going to be moving for the full minute, tapping the ground at each side.